All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, Gervonta Davis gets a talking to from Devin Haney's camp, who tells him, "You need me." Let's talk about that, and says that to the rest of the division. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we are going to talk about Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, and Shakur Stevenson, the cream of the crop in the lightweight division, where Devin Haney, via his father, Bill Haney, lays down the law that Gervonta Tank Davis needs him, Shakur Stevenson needs him, Vasily Lomachenko needs him, because he is the boss and he ain't going anywhere from that division, is not dropping belts, ain't doing none of that. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you for allowing me to talk about this boxing every day. Your support in the super chats, the cash apps, the thumbs up, sharing the videos. Shout out to my guys on Instagram who share the video on Instagram. Greatly appreciated for getting the word out, man, about this boxing conversation. And that is all it is. It's a boxing conversation. I'm not a journalist. I'm a boxing fan, and this forum is here for you to chop it up with me and let me know what you think about the hottest topics in boxing. And clearly one of the hottest topics in boxing is this Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson situation at lightweight. And you have the undisputed champion, Devin the Dream Haney, through his manager, father, promoter, co-promoter, not sure what runs his promotional company, Bill Haney, announcing that they are not going to be dropping belts. They are not going to be moving up in weight, and that everybody in that division needs needs Devin Haney, because Devin Haney is the man. Now, that to me is very, very, very good news. That, let me tell you very gently, I'm not sure if I believe. First and foremost, I do not believe that he's not going to drop those belts, because how long is he going to make 135 pounds? If he said recently that he was having a hard time making the weight for Vasily Lomachenko, and the longer they push that fight back, the more difficult it would be for him to make the weight. Also, you saw him at his weigh-in against for the second fight with George Kambosos. He looked skeletal, to say the least. Definitely looked like he was more drawn in the second fight than he was in the first fight with George Kambosos at the weigh-in. And I think even from Devin Haney fans and anybody and everybody that talks about the situation have been saying for a while that Devin is a very, very big guy at 135 pounds. So we do not know whether or not how long he's going to be able to make that weight. So if he fights Vasily Lomachenko next, I suspect that's going to be his last fight in that division. I don't think he's going to continue and push on. I think he's going to wind up going up to 140 pounds. But according to Bill Haney, that's not the case. He's not dropping any belts. He's not going to do any of that stuff. Now, this may be, just to give you a bit of perspective, they may have said that because Devin Haney and Bill Haney pay very close attention to social media. And there is a channel, there is a Twitter page by the name of Ray Jackson. Shout out to Ray Jackson. Knows definitely one of the most dominant between him and Lefty on Twitter, two most dominant tweeters in the boxing area, in the area of boxing. Had, I do believe, put out a spoof tweet that said that Devin Haney would be dropping the belts, and that Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia would be fighting for the vacant WBC and the vacant WBA titles. So when he said that he's not dropping belts, he's going to be there. These guys have to go through with them. It may have been in response to that, but better safe than sorry. We'll just address the issue and say, okay, well, we don't really know whether or not he was addressing that specifically or not. However, Devin Haney himself did retweet what Ray Jackson said, and so therefore, very least, Devin Haney knows about that for sure. But assuming that he really is serious in saying that he's not going to go up in weight, or that he's not going to drop the belts, and that all these guys have to go through him, right, because they need him. To that, once again, I say, yeah, that's definitely true. As it pertains to Shakur Stevenson, who, by the way, also said in his tweet, guaranteed that he is going to get a shot at the titles this year, no doubt about it. He said, watch my tweet. I guarantee you that I'm going to be fighting for a title this year. So either he's going to be fighting Shakur Stevenson, either Devin Haney's going to be fighting Shakur Stevenson next, or Shakur Stevenson's going to be fighting for a vacant belt, more than likely a vacant WBO belt. Or if Devin Haney actually fights Vasily Lomachenko, then Shakur Stevenson will get a shot at Vasily Lomachenko. I do not believe, however, that if Devin Haney wins against Vasily Lomachenko and stays in that weight class, that he's going to fight Shakur next, unless. No, I just don't think he will, because I've heard that out of their mouths. They don't want that fight at 140. They don't want it at 135. They say they want it at 140 or 147, but man, please, I ain't believing for nothing Shakur Stevenson's getting up to anybody's 147 pounds anytime soon with the people that are in that weight class right now. That's something that is 3 and 4 years off, 5 years off, something like that. Something that could possibly happen at the tail end of his career. And at 140, man, all those belts are scattered all over the place at 140. And several of them are over there with the PBC. And Bob Arum and Al Heyman ain't doing business like that unless it's something that's making a lot of cheddar. Per the statements made by Leonard Ellerbe in the past. Now, but as far as everybody needing him to get belts, 100%, no doubt about it. However, I'm team reality over here. And this Undisputed, the stuff about Undisputed in these belts and what matters and all of this. Look, you put Devin Haney to the side and you look at everybody else that is being involved in a search for Undisputed, right? Now, Jermell Charlo is not in the search for Undisputed. He is Undisputed, right? And he is got a bunch of mandatories lined up. So even with him, he's not the boss of what's going on in the 154-pound division. He actually has to go and fight all of these guys that are his mandatories. And I think he's got at least two of them lined up, right? He is in a position where he is fighting the guys to keep the belts that they put in front of him. But if you look at everybody else that's in position to get Undisputed, people acting really, really funny about it, all the way to heavyweight, from Alexander Usyk to Tyson Fury. Alexander Usyk's the ones with most of the belts, and Tyson Fury is talking about, I may fight Francis Ngannou. Then you have what's the mockery of what's going on at 175 pounds with Beterbiev and Bivol, where the WBC says, well, Bivol's Russian, so, we don't know if we're even going to allow him to fight for our belts. And then you have the Eddie Hearn, who's setting up, who says, Canelo Alvarez refuses to move off of his date to allow Bivol versus Beterbiev because Canelo wants his revenge, right? So we want Bivol to move down to 168 to fight Canelo. So you have, and then they put another mandatory on Beterbiev to fight another Eddie Hearn fighter that goes by the name of Callum Smith, who already got knocked out, I think he might have gone 12 rounds, but got beat up by Canelo Alvarez at 168, like somehow, that's really the fight we want to see. We want Canelo leftovers at 168 to fight for 3 belts at 175. The whole path of this undisputed stuff is just a bunch of politics, as was them being able to make undisputed at 154 and 135. It wasn't until Oscar De La Hoya where they had Teixeira, and somehow Brian Castano was able to get a shot at Teixeira, who wasn't a big name. But when Jaime Munguia had that belt at 154, the WBO at 154, he wasn't fighting anybody with the PBC. Still won't. Now you got Oscar De La Hoya acting like trying to get Jermall Charlo stripped when he turned down a fight with Jermall Charlo. But same thing at 135, where Devin Haney wasn't going to get a shot at undisputed while he was at DAZN. He had to go sign with ESPN to get it. And those belts more than likely are going to stay at Top Rank in ESPN if he decided to go somewhere else. So, I mean, the whole thing about undisputed is super, super political and really isn't based on like who the best fighter is. It's whether or not the promotional companies will say, okay, we kind of give up on this weight class. Yeah, we don't really have enough people in this weight class, so we're not going to hold on to a belt. Okay, we'll let somebody do undisputed. Because other than that, you'd have undisputed at heavyweight. You would have been having undisputed at heavyweight with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. And for sure, you'd be getting it with Alexander Usyk and Fury. And it wouldn't be so difficult to get it with Beterbiev and Callum Smith. But anyway, it is what it is. By the way, that's why I'm telling you, y'all need to listen to these videos and stop paying 100% sole attention to the titles, because a lot of the subjects that you want me to discuss in boxing, I'm going to discuss throughout the heart of the video. I'm just not always going to put it in the title because I don't have all day to do 15, 20 videos to talk about everything in boxing that I want to talk about. But anyway, much love. Thank you for watching the videos. Leave a comment in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.